everyone, and welcome to my April journal with me. I am so excited to be filming this video. I love doing these videos. They're really fun for me to make, and I hope they're fun for you to watch. But this is my April plan with me. So this month, I really wanted to do something a little bit different. Also, I got a comment on one of my last videos asking me if I could do a theme where I draw instead of one where I use stickers, since I've used stickers for the past couple of months. And I thought that would be a fun idea. So this month I decided to draw, which is exciting. But of course, naturally, as I always do whenever I am bullet journaling, I either listen to a book or I listen to some music. And this month I was listening to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab, which I have finished. And I just uploaded a video yesterday, actually, talking about my thoughts on this book. So I'll link that on the screen if you want to hear my thoughts on it. But this is my theme for April. So for April, I really wanted to go with something floral, something flowery, and something pink because I was in the pink mood. And I decided to just draw these like little simple pink flowers that I thought were really cute. And I think they turned out really well. I'm actually genuinely so happy with the way that this month's whole layout looks. I'm proud of my drawings as well. I am not like super great at drawing. I never really like learned how to draw or anything, but I really do like the way that the flowers ended up looking. I ended up just drawing them like very simply, as you can see, but I went in with two different colors of pink, two different shades of pink, and I colored the petals that I'd drawn in with pen first with a darker pink, and then I went in with a lighter pink and added in some like smaller petals in between the big petals, if that makes sense, to make the flowers look a bit more full and give them dimension with like the two different colors. So it's really simplistic, but I think it ended up turning out really nice. Like it looks like I put a lot of effort into it, but it still is very simple. And then I took this gold jelly pen and added some dots around it. I used this one in my March spread as well. I really like this gold jelly pen. I think it adds really great detail. And then on the next page, I decided to add a quote, and I took a quote from Howl's Moving Castle, which is one of my favorite movies, and it's "A heart's a heavy burden," which I just love. I love that quote a lot. I think about it all the time. And then I went in with the gold jelly pen again to add in some more detail to the lettering, and then once again added in some more flowers onto this page as well, just to tie in the whole flower theme. And again, I think it turned out really nice. Like I said, I'm just really happy with this month's spread because it ended up looking exactly how I had pictured it in my head, and like that never happens whenever I try to draw something. So I'm just like genuinely pleased with it, and it's a first for me. All right, and now moving on to my monthly calendar spread. So first of all, I noticed that I wasn't wearing my rings like partway through filming this, so then I put them on. So that's why you'll notice that I'm now wearing my rings. But yes, my monthly calendar spread. Usually, as you have seen in the past like 2 months, I've been doing this like really simplistic spread where I just like draw the horizontal lines for the grid of the calendar. But this month I wanted to do something a little bit different. I actually contemplated it for a while, so I had left it like the original way at first. But I wanted to draw like the full grid and draw like all of the squares because I just thought that that look was better for what I was going for. So you'll notice that I'll add in like the full grid in a little bit. I just wrote goals on the side like I typically do every month, just to write out my goals for the month, and then the days of the week, of course. And now here you can see that I'm finally filling in like the full grid, and I think that it gave it the look that I was going for. I wanted something a bit fuller with the flowers, and I think that it ended up looking really nice. I did mess up on that one line. You'll notice it's just like crooked. I didn't use my ruler this month, and I just wasn't feeling it, but I did mess up. Also, a lot of you have asked me how I draw my lines so straight without a ruler. It's because I'm using a dotted grid notebook. I thought everyone knew that, but apparently some of you don't know that. It's a dotted grid notebook, so the lines are like much easier to draw since the dotted grid is right there to help you draw the lines, but the dotted grid is literally doing all of the work. And then I just went back in to add some more of the flowers, of course, to tie the whole theme together, and I think it ended up looking pretty nice as well. The flowers did take me a really long time to draw though, only because drawing each individual petal took a long time, and then coloring in each individual petal took a long time. But besides that, I would say they're fairly simple to do, so like if you wanted to draw them, I think you could easily draw them. They're just a little bit time consuming, especially if you decide to color them in. And then I felt like the space at the bottom was a little bit empty, so I decided to go in with another quote from House Moving Castle that says, "I've had enough of running away," and I feel like it filled in the space nicely. I added in some more flowers as well, colored those in, added in some more of the dots with the gold jelly pen, and I feel like it really filled up the space nicely, and it looks really full and really pretty and very spring to me, so I'm very happy with it. And moving on to the next spread, we have, of course, my monthly playlist spread. So I haven't actually shared my March playlist yet. I definitely need to do that. So I will definitely do that before this video goes up. So when you see this, I'll have my March playlist linked in the description box if you want to watch it. But if you've been watching my journaling videos, then you know that I don't make my playlist until like at least halfway through or towards the end of the month, because it's the songs that I listen to that month. So this page is going to remain blank until I end up filling it in throughout the month. So I just did the same like layout that I've been doing pretty much every single month since like January, which is just like this super simple header. I just added in some of the flowers, and I think it looks really nice, and I think it'll look really nice with all of the album covers on this page as well. It'll be colorful and very spring. And then we move on to my habit tracker page, and again, I just continued on with the flower theme, but I did decide to add little boxes around the calendars. What are they called? They're called calendars. Around the little calendars for the different habits that I'm tracking. Usually I don't draw the little box. I usually just like leave it blank with like the numbers and just the header at the top. But this month, since I did the full calendar grid, I wanted to tie that theme into the other pages as well, so I wanted to keep it consistent. So I decided to draw the box around it, and I think it looked really nice and it works with the theme that I'm going for. And then of course the habits that I track are the same ones that I've been tracking for the past several months, which are water, reading, stretching, which used to be yoga, but I decided to change it to stretching because honestly, like I really need to stretch, and I don't want to do yoga all the time, but I should stretch every single day because my body just needs it. Skincare, making my bed every morning, sleeping, piano, and uploading, and I'm pretty much gonna stick with these for a while, I think, because they just work for me. And then I added in the flowers and the gold accents to finish everything off, and again, I think it turned out really nice, and I'm really happy with this spread as well. Okay, so last month I ended up making a mistake when I was making my video planner spread, and I ended up writing video on the wrong page. So I had to come up with a different spread idea for the left side of the page. And I ended up just writing like thoughts. So it was just like a brain dump type of page where I can write down whatever I want to and make lists and, you know, do whatever I need on that page. And it ended up actually being one of the most useful pages in my entire bullet journal last month. So it was a very happy accident. And I ended up making it again this month because I found it so useful last month that I just want to use it again. So I'm now making this just a thoughts page where I can write down whatever I need to, and it's super helpful and super useful for me. And then I moved on to my video planner page, which just says video plans. And again, I just use this to write down any video ideas and write down my uploading schedule for the month and things like that. And it really helps me stay organized with uploading videos. These two pages are probably my two most used pages in my journal besides my weekly spreads. And for finishing touches, I added in a border, the flowers, and a little bit more detail to the lettering as well. And this is what it ended up looking like. lastly, we reach my weekly spread. So the first week of April starts on a Thursday, and I didn't want to add in like the days of March. So usually I divide my spread into 3 sections per page, so a total of 6 sections in the 2-page spread. But for this week, I decided to just separate it into 4 separate sections since the week started on a Thursday, which I know is a little bit different, but this just works for my brain best. And for the next weeks in April, I'm just gonna do my regular like 6 sections for the week. But yeah, I think this works. It'll give me more space. I actually am really busy this week anyway, so it'll be nice to have a lot of space to fill stuff in. And I added in the last few flowers, of course, and added in some gold accents as well, and the dots, just to tie everything in together. And this is what my weekly spread looks like. But there you have it. This is my April bullet journal layout. Like I said, I am so happy with the way that this theme turned out. I'm really pleased with my drawings. I'm surprised that I'm actually pleased with my drawings, and I really like the color scheme, and I think that it's going to be really nice and pleasing to look at throughout the month, which is just what I need. But I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you do end up recreating any of my bullet journal spreads, please let me know. A few of you recreated my March ones and you sent them to me, and it was so amazing to see them. So if you do that, please definitely let me know. I'd love to see them. But if you'd like to follow me on any of my social media, all of my links are in the description box as always. But thank you all again so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I love you dearly, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!